Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What's going on, Habibis? I'm Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
And we're the Habibi Bros. Welcome to it's not Habibi Power Hour. I'm sorry. It's Habibi Bros. This is the list. This is the list of people who need their phones taken away.
Yes.
And the list of the worst takes on X. Oh my God, Jay, I'm so rusty. You see what happens when I
when you take like a week off and a week and a half, 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Oh,
2.5 weeks off. Well, I know you'll know what it feels like when you come out here.
I can't wait. I'm gonna be sniffing that crack.
Wait, which one? Mine or the?
I'm coming to Florida. I hear that the cracks in Florida are a lot funner than the ones here in California. So we're gonna find that out.
A lot funner.
A lot funner.
What I'm most excited about, though, is Jay, when you do come out here, and for those of you who have never watched us, Jay's out in California. I'm in Florida, and Jay is moving out here, and we can now do the show in person. So you no longer have to worry about like our sound or audio sounding like complete shit. Like we're stuck in an Afghan cave.
Right.
It'll be shitty in person.
Exactly. That's so instead of like one or either of us being shitty, we're gonna be shitty at the same time.
Shitty together.
Yeah, because luckily it's usually either I'm shitty or you're shitty. And then one of us has to restart our computers and everything. But I'm glad to have you back, Habibi.
It's good. It's good to be back, man. It's been a minute. And we are running normally. We were going to do this stream probably like the end of October, beginning of November, but it's November 9th. It's actually, if you go to Europe or any other place abroad, it's technically 9/11.
Yes, because of the way that they like everywhere else, their format for the date is month then day, or no, day then month, and ours is month then day. It took me a long time to switch it back when I was over here because I was living overseas for half my life, and it just makes more sense to do the day then the month and then the year.
I disagree, but that's just because I was born and raised in America. Piece of shit. Anyways.
Right. There was a great SNL skit talking about the metric system and stuff. And, it was I think a comedian from Tennessee who was doing it. And he was playing George Washington, talking about how he cannot wait to be free so people can be free to use whatever system they want in terms of measurements. And it was going in. So we'll be measuring games in yards. And they're like, well, how many yards makes a mile? And he's like, nobody knows. and then we'll have our temperatures in Fahrenheit. And then somebody's like, can you spell that? Nobody can. And then the black guy was like, and then what about us black people? And then he's like, we're going to be using mile instead of kilometer. Like totally ignoring the guy. Oh man, it was great.
Man. So Habibis, if you haven't already, hit that like, that follow, the thumbs up, the join buttons, okay? Because we're running a promotion through the end of the year. That's right. If you use a locals promo code, Siraj takes it on the chest. You get an extra month off of a $50 annual local sub, and you can use that code. And in addition to getting like $50 would mean 2 months off for an annual sub. Use Siraj takes it on the Siraj takes it on the chest, and you get 3 months off.
Yes,
And
and
Jay, why is it that I'm taking it on the chest?
well, a couple of weeks ago on our fantasy, you and I played, and the loser was going to get their chest wax when I get out there. It's going to be live on locals, and I won. So I'm going to be waxing a J on your chest.
This chest, by the way, there's enough hair on it to be waxed, and I'm sure it will get on video somehow.
Oh no, we're live streaming it.
Oh yeah, we're probably live streaming it. Knowing us,
Right. And this week and a half, I have to say, really a thank you to Dan and Dan from last night, Carl for the Sunday streams,
Carl from Ohio.
and Josh as well. Yeah, Carl from Ohio. Our local subscribers really stepped up and came into Habibi Power Hours while you were gone.
Yeah, I have to say that's actually a pretty cool thing that if you join our locals, you actually could like be a part of the show, and that's, I mean, it obviously you have to like build our trust. Like you don't just let anybody on. Like, but it's an opportunity to like come hang out with us on stream, play video games with us, and like Jay said, actually like hang with us during like our main shows like Habibi Power Hour and all that other shit,
And
which is
gaming streams and the football fantasy streams too.
yeah.
And be part of the football fantasy as well.
Yeah, and while you queue up your fantasy, if you join our locals, you also get on our Discord server, which is a great place to harass Jay for being 5'9", and
No, I'm
me for
not
being
5'9". I'm 5'4" and proud.
oh, I thought oh no, you're 4'9". That's right.
5'4".
So what happened last week, Jay? Did you actually win?
No, I lost last week. It was a really bad game. I was playing
You lost
against
this. How did you lose
Sachs.
to our producer who's on sabbatical and he has he had
was
3 empty slots?
he has 3 empty slots last week, and he beat me with also one of the guys I traded him with. So last week was really hard because my main players were on bye, so my second string players, and also second string in real life, all got injured. I had like 6 injuries, so I needed to go and find people who I have no idea who the fuck they are. And then I had Osborne in as well, and he got hurt in the first like 3 minutes of the fucking game. He got hurt.
I just find it so funny that look, Spencer is like he doesn't even have access to his team.
No.
He clearly is not managing his team, and he somehow beat Jay, who's like not only focused on like hyper focused on his team, he does his own fantasy football stream almost every Sunday, and he still loses to Spencer. That is how funny that loss is.
Dude, you should have seen me on the street. I was scrambling. I had no idea what the fuck I needed to do in order to do it. And now I'm playing the other intern, Ben, who is a literal cripple on a wheelchair, and he's probably gonna fucking beat me as well.
He's gonna kill you.
He is going to beat me as
I'd
well.
say if Ben beats you, Jay, I think he has the right to fire you.
I think that's fair.
I think that's only fair. I think that's only fair. I haven't really been paying attention to what my matchup has been. I think a week or two ago, I lost by like 0.3%, 0.3 of a point.
0.3. You lost by 0.3 of a point. It was kind of funny to watch.
It was pretty awful. I need to go
You're
find
playing
it.
Sachs.
There you go.
Yeah, here it is. You're playing Fuzzy. And
that's Fuzzy's.
Yeah, this is Fuzzy's team, isn't it?
Okay, so I lost by
no.
Where's 9. Fuzzy? I lost by 0.9%.
No, here it is.
0.9 of a point.
That's the other one you lost by like 0.9 of a point. This is the one you lost by a point.
It happened twice that I lost by less than a point.
Yes.
Oh my god, what is wrong with me?
Oh man, it's not your fault. This type of shit happens. And then week 12, I'm playing against Carl from Ohio again. So me and Carl have a rivalry happening because
Mhm.
I didn't know anything about fantasy, and I didn't know nothing about football the first time we ever did this, and I
You
beat
still
him,
know nothing about football.
and I finished third, and he finished like in ninth place or something, and I have been uh undefeated against him every fantasy since then, except for the first game we played each other this year. He finally beat me, so the record is 4-1, and we play again week 12
Wow.
in a couple
So
weeks.
do you think he's going to make it two in a row? I think he can.
No, I don't think he can. Ohioans, they can't do shit two in a row. What are you talking about? When's the last time OSU actually won anything,
Well,
let
I
alone
see
back to back?
right now, currently in the lead actually is our Habibi Drew Holden, who I don't
Oh yeah.
actually think has actually hung. I don't know if he just has a really stacked team, but
No, he
the dude
has he
is
has a stacked team. He's come in only once to let us know he's playing, and then he disappeared, and he's beaten all of us except for once, and I think he had like a bye week or some shit. Like a lot of his guys were on bye, but he has a pretty stacked team. I mean, he
yeah,
has Herbert, which I mean, last week probably played
was
the
garbage. He was terrible
best.
last week
Herbert wasn't terrible last week. He did
against the
like
Jets. He
was that last week? There was one week he was playing and he was
I'm thinking
he
2 weeks
did
ago.
he
Sorry,
did
Jay.
he did 12 for 12 targets back to back. 12
12 for
12
12 targets.
completions back to back. Like the guy was going down the field like just like it was nothing.
Like he was Jay at Fuzzy's mom's house.
So
Nothing stopping him.
he's absolutely going to beat yeah, against the Jets he was horrible. So it was the week before that he was yeah, against Chicago. He had 30 points.
Rory Metzger on local says if I had a nickel for every time Siraj lost by less than a point, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Joshin says poor Spencer's stuck in a Hamas custody and still beat Jay.
That's probably
Jay,
what fucking happened.
Oh, hey Ben, what's up?
I just came in to say that Jay's fantasy football team is going to be crippled worse than I am after this week.
Oh fuck. It's been crippled for the past 2 weeks. And even
Get his
after
ass.
now,
It's only
fuck.
getting worse from here.
It is going to
Only
get
getting
worse.
worse.
Get his ass. Get his ass.
I have McAnal as my kicker again because Buttlicker is on bye.
Okay, we gonna do the list or what? I feel like we've
Yes.
shot this shit way too much. I mean, like, it's good that we talk about the fantasy football because it's really funny to see how bad your team is. But
It's really bad. But chat, I need to know: should I be playing Brock Purdy against Jacksonville, or should I be playing Trevor Lawrence against San Francisco?
you wanted to play Trevor Lawrence against the Niners.
I'm gonna do
Oh no,
a
you're doing
poll.
Brock Purdy against the Jags. Yeah, I would stick with Brock.
No, I would too. I will too.
But I'm also the same person who told you to draft Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Brock Purdy all at once.
No, I did Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence back to back. And then I shot myself in the foot because the week I traded Justin Fields or dropped him is the week he did like 40 points or some shit.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So, BBs, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the list. That is the list of people who need their phones taken away. It was usually the list of the worst tweets on Twitter, but then Elon came along and fucked it up. Now it's just posts on X or worst takes on X. Like, Jay, I'm not going to get into like a tangent about how messed up it is that they changed the terminology, but I'm just putting it out there on the record. It's fucked up. I don't like it. It sucks.
Yeah, like tweet versus versus post. It doesn't have the same the same characteristic as it used to, because tweeting
It just doesn't hit. It doesn't hit as hard.
no, tweeting
No.
was a huge phenomenon. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot a lot of goodwill that backed tweets, Twitter, and brand recognition when
Yeah.
doing it. I mean, you could just call it X, but still call it tweeting.
Yeah, I still call it tweeting because there's no other way. I mean, you say tweeting, everybody knows what you're talking about.
Right. Now saying I posted, like, what did you post it on Threads, Instagram? Like it's all fucking
Facebook,
garbage.
Friendster, MySpace.
MySpace.
Roy on Locals says return to weekly power rankings of people who should have their phone taken away. So what we're doing on the weekly power ranking is actually we're keeping it weekly, but it's on our local supporters only. So you actually have to you get early access to it. We're about to do the entire month of October, but it's only the top 10. So if you're completely new to the list, you've never actually listened or heard or seen anything about the list. It's basically you post a bad tweet, you could get nominated for the list, and if your tweet is bad enough, then you could end up in the top 10 for that particular month. We're doing it monthly now because let's be honest, Jay, there's so, as you said, there's so many different social media platforms now that there's so much diversity that Twitter isn't as saturated as it used to be, and that's unfortunate because all the crazy people would just upload their mental illness onto Twitter, and the list, it was just pure cannon fodder for the list. And now we're like, like we're like raking like sand trying to fucking find tweets. So,
well,
anyways.
this past month, it hasn't been too hard to find really bad
No,
takes,
and
especially with what things have been, how things have been going on and stuff. For fuck's
so
sake,
Jay,
man.
I feel like you and I are kind of kindred spirits in this regard, and that we thrive off of chaos. That's what the list is as well. It thrives off of chaos, and the more chaotic things get, the crazier people get, and the more entertaining the lists are. So I'm not saying that like all this stuff happened in the month of October is good. By all means, it's very, very, very bad. But what we're about to share with you, the list, it is, I cannot even tell you how fucking ridiculous the amount of takes that we have. Our honorable mention is like 15 additional entries. Like they all could have made the top 10.
Right. They really could have. I mean, once we, one thing I miss, and hopefully we're going to get here on Rumble soon, is when we were doing the top 10, we usually put it in the hands of the voters as well. And we would do polls, like really quick 5-minute polls. And then they would say where that would go. We put two
That's
tweets.
what we did on that's what we did on Twitch.
Yes.
And actually that was a lot of fun. But we're on Rumble now, so we just gotta wait for Rumble to drop the poll function, which hey, inshallah could happen any day now.
Yeah, I know. What's his name? Rick? Is his name Rick?
Oh, you know, Rick, dude, you're gonna love Rick.
Yes, Rick. I know he's been really working on it. If you guys follow him on Twitter, he's really good at showcasing all the updates that are happening on Rumble, which are pretty good for creators.
Rick Rosella, who big shout out to the Habibi. Great guy all around that really knows his shit, and just a very delightful human being. Really, I dig him as a person. He's a good dude. He is the head of product, and hey, we can only suggest so much. It's really a matter of like, can it be done? The answer is usually yes. It's just a matter of like, all right, where do we put this on the backlog? There's just so much shit to get to.
Yeah, no, it's there is a lot, especially because Rumble is still as young as it is. But
that's what's crazy. Rumble's 10 years old.
Right.
It's 10 years old, but Rumble is like, if you think about like in the last few years, it like really started popping off in 2020. It
Mhm.
feels like a startup. That's what's so wild about it.
Right. Well, I think also I don't know when did Chris shift over from Canada into the United States?
Uh, technically, it was when the Rumble office opened in. I mean, they established an entity in 21. So, like,
Right.
I think 22 was the first year that they could claim, like, be an American company for the full year or the full fiscal year. Although
Right.
maybe I don't know. It doesn't. It was 21, 22. That was basically when it happened.
And
Um,
it's amazing like that happened with because of the stringent laws in Canada. He
it's
had to
insane.
I think he really had to
Yeah, to
make
get
that
it.
jump.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
it's not safe over there if you have different views from the government in Canada. It really
oh,
isn't.
Canada's bad shit. Canada. Um, I saw someone send. They had like some sort of like Two Spirit Awareness Day, but it was like every single person with mental illness like on stage, and it was like trans kids. And have you seen this photo?
No, I haven't.
Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, no, I have. It looks like an absolute a parody.
It looks
And
like you ever seen Arrested Development, like the first season?
mhm,
In the very first episode, it was like the
the
Job,
magicians,
yeah, the Magicians Guild, like we demand to be taken seriously.
right here.
You
While
have it? Yeah.
you get while you get the list up and everything, I'll find it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so we'll get into the list. Jay's just he's so flawless with this shit. I'm so proud of him. Um, all right, so the list starting at number 10. And for those of you who are not familiar with this individual, Mia Khalifa, um, if you Google her, make sure you're on incognito mode or private mode, okay? Because if you get caught with that search in your computer, I guarantee you, not only will your parents' internet, like, in a parental blocker of, send up the flare. You also have the FBI and DHS banging at your door. And so this from Mia Khalifa at number 10, she tweets, "Can someone please tell the freedom fighters in Palestine to flip their phones and film horizontal?" Now, that tweet, as you can see, was deleted. It's from October 7th. Everybody now knows. I mean, like 10/7. Unfortunately, like it doesn't roll off the tongue as good as 9/11. 9/11 is just, in terms of like date names that really like,
This is
like
the
horrific date names, 9/11 was like the S tier, like the super top A1 tip top first class tier. 10/7 just doesn't, it just doesn't flow.
no, it doesn't flow. It doesn't flow right.
Stop.
They should have waited for 11/9.
They really should have. I've been really fucked up because today's 11/9.
Right. And the funny thing about this tweet too is I think it really gives when you have people like Mia Khalifa who are calling for like ceasefires and all that kind of stuff, you can find tweets from 10/7 from these pieces of fucking garbage that really showcase why they need to shove their calls for ceasefire up their fucking asses. I know she's had a lot of things shoved up her, but
There's been a lot of things.
this is one of them. I mean, you scratch these pro-Palestinians and you find terrorist simping pieces of fucking garbage all the time, every single time.
Um,
But
so,
I did find it.
yes, hell yeah, do it, play it.
Enables the Attorney General to create a 2S LGBTQI plus community safety zone to prohibit
What am I looking at here?
Oh my god, look at this. Okay, she's for the this poor kid's so fat. And then you
Bro,
got these two right
that's
here.
probably a boy. That's probably a trans kid.
I don't know, dude. I mean, I know it could be because of how fat the kid is, but I mean, over here is where you really get the fucking hilariousness out of this whole thing. You got these
'Cause-
two drag queens behind her right here,
Right, it's
probably
because they're wearing
trans,
masks, right?
and then this guy wearing a mask, this lesbian wearing a mask, and then you got these two over here. This guy doesn't even know why the fuck he's there.
Yeah, that looks like a Canadian Kevin Costner from this angle.
Kind of. And then of course you got the I'm telling you, I've been saying this.
What is George Takei doing in Canada?
I've been saying not George Takei, you know, the Korean doctor, little short Korean doctor dude from Hangover.
Oh yeah, oh Ken Jeong.
Ken John. But the funny thing is what I've been saying for a very long time is that Asian lib women are the worst type of libs.
Why is that?
And they prove it over and over again because they need to one up the white lib women. They feel like they need to do that, and we see it happen time and time again. I promise.
All right. Here's a good example to bolster that argument.
Mhm.
Leanna Wen.
Mhm.
Do you know who she is?
No.
Former president of Planned Parenthood.
Oh, right.
And then she like went on CNN. She had like all these garbage COVID takes. It's
Yeah.
not. It's Leanna Wen, Leana, not Lena. Leana. There you go.
Would.
I know you would. I mean, look at it. Look at that jaw. Look at that. Look at that jawline. Jay's all about it.
Oh, all well, it's mainly the eyes. The Asian chink eyes. And the quartering Habibi with $100 rumble rant.
Oh,
Praise
Habibi.
BB.
Habibi.
Habibi.
Kefik. Thank you, sir. That
Inshallah.
is beautiful. Thank you. That was very nice. Appreciate that, Jeremy. All right, let's get to number 9. Number 9. I'm gonna blow this up. Jay and I like to make that joke all the time. Okay, this is a screenshot of a tweet that I wanted that actually was edited. This is the problem with Twitter editing, is that now you can't actually see the reason why this got on the list. Mind you, this is number 9.
Are you talking about the ratio?
Oh, no, it's not the ratio, Jay. It's because what was over Greta
Oh, yeah, because
shoulder was
this
the squid.
was
There was a squid over her shoulder.
right. This was a second post from the original that got deleted.
It's not a second post. She edited that shit.
Oh fuck.
She went ahead. Oh, okay. All right. Maybe he said that's why I deleted the last post. I don't know. Here we go. This is the original.
Yes.
So week 270 today, we strike in solidarity with Palestine and Gaza. The world needs to speak up and call for an immediate ceasefire, justice, and freedom for Palestinians and all civilians affected. And look, there is actually, you know, who did a really good job of capturing that. Our Habibi Rob Province. I think he originally caught it, but we'll do Viva Fries because it's just right here. But I feel like I just want to give a shout out to Rob Beebe because I think he was the first one on it. Was he not? He sent it to us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He caught the shit.
He caught it and he sent it.
The squid over
the Wikipedia
the squid over the
post too.
shoulder, and then the classic anti-Semitic trope. Jewish tentacle.
It is very crazy to think about too, because I mean, it's so insane. They made sure to get the octopus. They made sure it was blue, and they put it over the shoulder. I mean, and you know, if it wasn't for the raging anti-Semitism we've been seeing over and over and over and over again from everybody on this issue, you
Right.
might want to try and give her the benefit of the doubt, but
Mhm.
you know that she's not surrounded by um Jew loving people like
Right.
for sure. And it's crazy because
I
it
mean,
goes it
it's just
goes even deeper that all of these people, these leftist people who are on the issue of climate change, on the issue of decolonization, on the issue of all of these things, are raging anti-Semitic fucking pieces of shit.
yeah.
Every one of them.
And it's always, they always hide it, and they're always very like, what's it called? They're very subtle, and they lie to us and they lie to themselves that they're not anti-Semitic. But every like every behavior, every action, everything they say suggests the exact opposite. I remember someone tweeting out within the last month how they at least prefer right-wing anti-Semitism because at least they're open about it.
Right. Well,
Or
now
they're honest about it, something like that.
right. They are. And now we're seeing people be completely open about it. I mean, it was really funny because somebody made a joke about how Kanye West was just ahead of his time, like usual. Because if he started coming out with all of that shit he was saying on the
Oh
Jews and
my
all that kind of
God.
stuff and bringing it out on Israel, and every single time, he's just ahead of the game. So he was just ahead of his time again when he was saying all of that shit.
Wow. And I find it so funny, like every single now for those of you who don't know, I love Yeezys. I don't know why. I
They're
can't
comfortable as
there's
fuck.
a very comfortable sneakers. And so they had basically like the sell off of all these different Yeezys. And of course I bought a bunch, but every single box of Yeezys came with the blue square, this I stand against anti-Semitism square.
No way.
Yeah, like there was like it's like a tchotchke that comes within each pair. And so like it's Adidas's attempt to like make amends for like the stuff that Kanye said. I'm actually surprised not many people have talked about it or reported on it
No,
because
or
it
at
is
least
kind of a wild
show
thing.
that is a wild thing.
Probably because nobody wants to admit publicly that they're still buying Yeezys because of all the anti-Semitism. Okay, yes, I'm a hypocrite. I shouldn't be buying Yeezys, but god damn it, they're so comfortable on my feet.
No, they're really, really good.
You know what's really funny, Jay?
Oh no,
Emily
here it
actually,
is. This is
no, Jay, you
this
know
is
what's really funny, even funnier, is that Emily actually got a couple pairs from that.
is this a is this a, here? It says hashtag stand up to Jewish hate by wearing, posting, and sharing the blue square, the universal symbol for fighting anti-Semitism. Is
Yeah,
that what came with them?
that's what came with them.
That is nuts.
Yeah,
That is fucking hilarious. It's like,
it's really
oh,
funny.
we're still going to sell you these things for $230, but here's a sticker.
That sticker.
That's amazing.
And what's
Oh,
wild
that
is
is fucking
people,
hilarious.
and it's double on the resale market.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely,
At
it's going to
least
be on the
double or
resale.
triple on the resale
Right.
market. So, all right, this next one, number 8, Rashida Tlaib. Now I know Rashida Tlaib should be much higher.
Talib.
She should honestly be like leading number 1. But sadly, you don't understand how crazy this entire website is. So let's get to what the whole problem was. Now, if you remember correctly, back in mid-October, there was what was it, Al Ali hospital, right?
Yeah.
Was it
I don't remember
Al
which
Ali
hospital. A lot.
Al Ali
Ali.
hospital in
Mhm.
Gaza City was apparently bombed. Now, Dr. Omar Suleiman tweets out, "Dear world, Israel just bombed a Christian hospital in Gaza and murdered over 500 Palestinian civilians," which, by the way, we talked about it. How the fuck do they know 500 right off the bat? Like it.
I know
Like
it was
Israel just bombed, and there are 500 dead. We already know this.
literally not even 5 seconds after this like news broke, they were saying that 500 Palestinians were killed. And then
bro, what type of Minority Report shit is this? This motherfucker
right?
knew it was gonna happen.
And it's fucking hilarious. No, it's because Hamas just released saying 500 people were killed, and everybody jumped onto it and making it seem like it was real. And the same people, like this fucking Dr. Suleiman, will be asking for proof of rapes. Where's the video of the rapes? Where are the pictures of beheaded babies? But they will sit there and take this Hamas propaganda at face value. Whatever Hamas says is 100% true. Whatever is coming out from October 7 is it needs to be scrutinized and everything. These people
Jay,
are complete garbage pieces of shit.
Jay, you know what's really awful is that I feel like I don't fear. I feel like someone is going to try to release, like mass release the footage and the photos and imagery of what happened on 10/7 simply because so many people are denying that's happening. But
at
the
already,
same time, Jay, is
because
that it was still denied that
out.
it's happening and say that was like AI generated, or if that it was everything's fake, which is why all this shit is so dangerous, because now we're at the point where we simply don't trust what's in front of us.
Yes.
Can't
And
trust our own eyes.
You can't. And the thing is that because of that, Israel actually is releasing all of the footage, and it's Hamasmassacre.net. If you go to that website, they're releasing all of the images, especially the ones that they did enclosed, because they thought that if they were showing it enclosed in an enclosed setting with journalists, that it would still get the broad scope of the atrocities that happened October 7. But they don't realize is that these media newsrooms and everything are filled with anti-Semitic pieces of garbage.
Right.
They're 100% filled with them. And we saw that even today. I don't know if you saw it. There was an accurate political cartoon drawn on Washington Post of the leader of Hamas saying Israel needs to stop killing civilians, while he has civilians like a mother and baby and everything wrapped around him.
And they pulled that. They pulled that cartoon. I'm gonna try to find it real quick.
And they, you know what cartoon is still up? There's a GIF cartoon of Netanyahu looking at the Hamas soldier and punching a baby, and they kept that up, but they took this down.
So this is the cartoon that the Washington Post pulled because the Washington Post staff had a meltdown over it. It's crazy.
They are filled with Hamas simps. They're filled with anti-Semitic pieces of garbage, and we've seen this time and time again. We know who they are. We know what they are, and we know what they represent. They are agenda-pushing leftist commies who are anti-Semitic pieces of garbage. And any reporting that they do on the issue of Israel should be taken with a real grain of salt, especially these numbers that they're posting, because they're just saying 9,000 civilians are killed, and they don't mention, well, okay, let's say the 9,000 number is accurate. How many of those are Hamas militants? They don't tell you, because they say the whole thing is civilians.
They can never tell you. Either because the lines are blurred so much, or because like there's at this point there's no daylight between Hamas and a Palestinian civilian.
Really? Yeah.
I feel like there is, though. I feel like there is.
It's going to be hard to get out.
That out as like a potential thought that probably has been entertained.
Yes,
but I think there is obviously not every Palestinian is part of Hamas. It's just unfortunate that like I know a lot of Palestinians, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Jay. It feels very weird talking to them because I don't know if they condone the acts of 10/7, and I'm kind of scared to find out. So,
well, especially Western Palestinians here in the
Western
United
Palestinians
States,
for sure.
they don't, and they don't because they feel empowered because they have a lot of the leftists and everything that are praising and
Yeah, no,
also calling
it's
it
a
freedom fighters and stuff. So they
it's a
feel
hell of a
empowered
drug.
to actually say these type of things. But you can see actual Palestinians in Palestine who are fleeing, and also like Saudi Arabia news and a lot of Arab nations calling what is happening right now on is the responsibility of Hamas, not
Yeah,
on Israel. Israel is responding to what Hamas did, and
it's
everything that's
actually crazy
happening
that
now is Hamas's fault. You cannot
it's
blame Israel on almost anything that is happening right now. You
all
cannot put
these
it the blame
people,
on it.
Jay, all these people calling for a ceasefire don't understand that there was a ceasefire prior to 10/7. Hamas fucking broke it.
Yep.
Okay? They don't deserve it Hamas doesn't deserve a fucking ounce of mercy in this regard. I think, and it's actually very crazy to hear people say there needs to be a ceasefire now. Think about all the civilians. Yeah, well, more and more civilians will die if Hamas is not taken out.
Right. And
If you think in like the longer term, like Hamas is going to continue killing more and more civilians. More of these wars will happen if you let Hamas continue to exist.
yes.
Also, just one quick thing, and then I'll go back to you, Jay. I guess being this particular cartoon being taken down really puts to bed the whole narrative that Jews control the media. So thanks, Jews. You had a great run, but it's the Muslims' turn now. Or sorry, Habibis.
Right. It's really funny because what we're seeing is the whole warnings that were happening 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even like 30 years ago on the what has been festering in college campuses. We're seeing it in the real world, in real life. We're seeing it in newsrooms. We're seeing it in the Washington, in the White House State Department, with their aides and them crying like little bitch fucks. And there needs to be a reckoning on college campuses, and
100%.
we're seeing this happening over and over again in multiple different industries. I mean, look at what's happening to Disney right now. Disney is
Yeah.
absolutely failing because they have hired people from these universities who brought this ideology out into the real world into these industries. And it's scarier because it's a lot of it's festering in the White House right now.
Bro, I haven't even seen all the KJB clips, but man, the only thing I saw in like the last like 2.5 weeks was the clip about how like we need to be. Someone asked a reporter asked her about anti-Semitism, and she responded with talking about Islamophobia. Like,
That's the funniest thing in my mind. And it's people like Wahjat Ali as well that try to fester this as that they are the real victims in all of this. American Muslims living in their fucking living war free in the United States, being able to go on protests calling for the eradication of Jews freely,
mhm.
being able to protest their government freely here in the United States. They're the real victims, and it's fucking sick. It's just going to anger a lot more people.
And it already is. I mean, it's angering me. It's radicalizing me against some of these people. It's ridiculous. Anyways, I want to get back to the list here before long, because let's be honest, Jay, we could be here all night. So number 8, Rashida Tlaib. You want to get this one, Jay?
Rashida Tlaib coming in saying, and this happened. I think when was the date of this?
Yeah, I'll look. It was on October 17th.
All right, it is November 9th right now. You can actually go to her page. This is her page. It's still up. And it says Israel just bombed the Baptist hospital, killing 500 Palestinians just like that. POTUS, this is what happens when you refuse to facilitate a ceasefire and help de-escalate. Your war and destruction only approach has opened my eyes, and many Palestinian Americans and Muslims Americans like me. We will remember where you stood. And it's still up. Days and the next day, the same day, it has been proven that this was a failed rocket from one of the jihadi groups in Palestine that hit here. And it only hit the parking lot. If this was an Israeli raid, the whole fucking hospital would be leveled. And then not only that, it's also said that it's only 10 to like 15 people died from the misfire from a jihadi rocket. Because again, these jihadis and these Hamas militants do not give a flying fuck about the Palestinian lives. They even say it live on air that it is the responsibility of Israel and the UN to protect Palestinians, not theirs. That is the responsibility of the UN and Israel to make sure that Palestinians are fed, not theirs. They take pipes for clean
Zero
water
responsibility
to make bombs to kill Jews instead of help their civilians. And these past 2 years, Israel's laxed because they thought that maybe they changed their tune in order to actually facilitate and help the Palestinian people and grow the economy within Gaza. But even Hamas said they did that by design because there's no way in fuck they would actually help the Palestinian people.
It's so crazy.
Not even Egypt will. Not even Jordan will. Jordan, the Queen of Jordan, is Palestinian, and they don't do a fuck for Palestinians.
It's crazy. It actually, the most pro-Palestinian position you could take is to be anti-Hamas, because Hamas is a cancer. Hamas is a cancer on the Palestinian people, and frankly, a cancer on a lot of Muslims and unfortunately people with a lot of either ignorance, because I don't want to say that they're all hateful. I think a lot of them are, ignorant and also brainwashed. So, but there are truly a lot of evil people in the world, especially what they've just all reared their ugly head and just fuck. It's really bad. But the
Jordanian queen is hot. I'm not gonna lie. I would.
Queen Rania.
Yeah, would. Absolutely would.
I know you would. This
absolutely would.
Note. God, we are only on number 8. We're never going to get through this. Community note is the U.S. has collected high confidence intelligence showing that the explosion at a hospital compound in Gaza was caused by the militant group Palestinian Islamic Jihad, not an Israeli strike. So we already talked about that, but there is not an additional context that the explosion didn't actually kill 500 people. Because it actually then bombed the hospitals outside the hospital. But whatever. Let's just move on. Number 7, we got Samira Khan tweeting out, yes, you may think Israel has the right to defend itself. Under international law, Israel does not have the right to defend itself. Oh, Jay, why am I saying this?
No, it's really funny because that's also one of the reasons why I got banned the first time, is because Mehdi Hassan was tweeting out a thought-provoking article saying that under international law, Israel has no right to defend itself, but Palestinians can do whatever they want. And this article was posted the day after it came out that a Palestinian killed a little girl in her bed, stabbed her to death. And then they posted it. This was years ago. This was in 2016 when I had my first account, when I first got banned.
Jeez. Wait. You commented on the video?
No, on the articles. Me and Seth Mandel were doing
that's right.
Yeah, that
was 2016.
Yeah, that was in 2016.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That, Jay, I don't even think you were on Twitter then.
Yeah, it was. That's how we met.
You were on Twitter in 2017.
2016 was my first Twitter account.
I don't believe you, Jay. You know what? There's no way to fact check you because that account is 14 accounts ago.
Uh,
Yeah. Anyways, so
off to the next one.
this is I don't even need to explain this one. Fuck this one. This is number 5. Najma Sharif tweets out, "What did y'all think decolonization meant? Vibes, papers, essays, losers." This is tweeted again. This is the European, order of the date. I feel like there's a real theme here. 10/7. So the 7th of October, 2023. It was 10/7 or 7/10. Okay, so she's obviously referring to Hamas's terrorist, like massive assault and rampage on Israeli civilians. I can't. I just
again, this
apparently
is
this
far
person is
leftist commies finding ways to legitimize these type of atrocities against Israelis. Now, and these same people will tweet out and praise and cheer on the same thing that will happen here in the United States if the cartels ever wanted to go on a killing spree and claim that they're just trying to get Mexico back from Texas.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
They would, the same people like her and Karen from the Washington Post that liked this tweet, they're the same people who would be praising the stuff if it happened here against white people, because let's face it, they view Jews as white people as well. This is them cheering on their sick fantasies of wanting to go on a murdering rampage against white people.
It's honestly, Jay, I am amazed that these people have kept their jobs for as long as they have, even with all this information known about them. It's almost like, Jay, it's by design.
By design.
It's by fucking design. Slap that shit on the shirt. Anyways, this person, Najma Sharif, is apparently a writer and has been published, I think, in like Teen Vogue and shit. Of course she would write for Teen Vogue. Anyways, let's get to
and the funny, just as you're on talking about Teen Vogue, Jezebel actually has closed down.
They're
shutting its doors.
Down.
It's closing. It's shutting down. Teen Vogue is probably going to be on there as well. And this is on the same day that Vice has also been said that they're doing major closing on a lot of different publications and offices. And honestly, good. Fucking good. Jezebel is absolute fucking garbage shit. Absolute garbage shit.
And the replies on that tweet, are there any of them like
good?
It's all good.
Good riddance. Kataku next, please. Good riddance. Nothing of value being lost here.
What's that?
Can we dig it out of the grave and destroy it again? About time. Have you ever beat up a boyfriend? Because we have. Like hard-hitting journalism right here. I can't believe we're going to see it closed. Oh no. Hopefully Deadspin is next. Deadspin is like one of the most dumb fuck.
Deadspin isn't even the same
sports.
Deadspin it used to be.
No, absolutely not. It's been
infected by
absolute garbage.
I stopped reading Deadspin years ago because of this exact thing.
Right. I mean, there is no need for the journalism that we're seeing right now in gaming and in sports at all. If you're a sports journalist, all you're going to tell me is how many sacks a player did or how many rushing yards he did, and if he's going to another team next year, or if there's any turmoil in the thing. Not telling me, oh no, there's not enough black head coaches. Oh, you know why?
Jay, it is actually insane. Every single journalist has become like across every single like beat that they cover. Every single journalist has become basically an activist.
Yeah, well, it's because they
were always activists.
they've come out of these college campuses that are actually teaching them that being a journalist means you're an activist. Being a journalist means you can push an agenda. Like they are pretending that journalists is giving them this cover on being whatever the fuck they want. And now we're seeing that happen as well with the news that came out that journalists with that get paid gigs from AP, the New York Times, and CNN were actually in the preparation with October 7th.
Like
Embedded and in preparation. I mean, you even have somebody taking a picture of him holding a grenade on a motorcycle and posting it on his Facebook. This is the type of people that are being hired by news organizations. And he also posted a selfie of him getting kissed on the cheek by one of the leaders of Hamas. And they want to be protected under journalism.
So there's this one journalist from, let's see, this freelancer, Hassan Aslaya. Let's see. Are you talking about this one?
Yeah.
CNN fires Gaza-based photojournalist discovered to be embedded with Hamas. The news network says it hired freelancer Hassan El-Slayaya after the October 7th attacks, of which they had no prior knowledge. So yeah, it's not really fully a crock of shit. Either they were embedded, they were embedded before, and they said that they hired Hassan after the October 7th attacks. Are we really so sure about that? We have to go and there should be a paper trail or digital trail, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, in New York Times just a week ago was shown to have a reporter on their payroll that praised Hitler. This is coming from the same newsroom that said a Tom Cotton op-ed was going to get all of their friends killed. But anyways, we had this here because I retweeted Katako next, please. We had Greg Ray, who's over at the Daily Wire. Greg Ree, sorry. Over at Daily Greg. No, it's Greg. Is it Gregory? Is that his name?
I think it might be Gregory.
I think it's Greg Ree.
Then what if his middle initial is A?
No, but I also think he works with Ligma. I think he works with Ligma over at the Daily Wire.
Oh, with Ligma? Nice.
Yeah, I think he does too. So
I love Ligma.
They had substantial layoffs over at Ketco as well, and this is one of the guys who got laid off. And he's one. This guy's last piece was about hiding porn on Steam. Like, that's what I'm saying about these are absolutely useless fucking journalists within gaming journalism. And the gaming, journalists in gaming and gaming journalism it's absolutely atrocious. It's so fucking sick. It's doesn't even make any sense. They get on there and they whine about the sexualization of a character, and it's bro, their target audience are guys. 90% of gamers are guys. They're going to do what sells to guys. It's what's going to happen. And they get it into a point where, in Spider-Man 2, they made Mary Jane look fucking atrocious. Absolutely fucking atrocious. That game was absolute garbage, by the way.
Wait. Oh, Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 was garbage.
Really?
Such a garbage game. The storyline, the villains, Peter Parker was a little bitch, always having to be saved by Miles and thanking Miles and all that kind of stuff. For saving him from being a little bitch, basically. And then they the the last costume for Miles Morales is absolutely fucking disgusting. It is the worst costume I've ever seen for Spider-Man.
Well, the one thing that's so weird about Miles Morales' character, the voice actor who plays him, honestly sounds like a whiter version. Like if Steve Urkel was white.
Right.
That's how white Miles Morales' voice sounds in that.
I'm trying to yeah, here
It's
it is.
real. It sounds like his balls haven't dropped. That's how like high pitched it is.
I'm finding
Are you gonna try to find his voice?
No, this is the Miles Morales costume.
What the fuck is that?
It had to show his dreadlocks.
He's got dreads.
I don't know what the fuck the hairstyle is called, but it's kind of like dreads or whatever.
How do you
Whatever the fuck it is.
how do you remain anonymous when you have your hair?
Yeah, you can't because that's like
What's the point of wearing the mask?
If you know Miles Morales, you will know that is his hairdo. Like you would know it from the fucking get-go. It's absolute shit.
It's like
Absolute
Jay.
shit.
It's like if Spider-Man wore assless chaps and Jay could identify it because he there's not a single ass that he cannot
eat.
He can't name.
Oh yeah, well that too, yeah.
Right? That is true.
absolutely.
Like you ate one ass, you're like, oh hi Cheryl.
It's so bad.
All right, here's number 5. Number 5 is Guardian Australia tweeting out Israel must stop weaponizing the Holocaust. What the fuck? What the fuck are we reading, bro? Are you like this is a serious article that somebody wrote.
Oh my god, that is fucking hilarious.
All right, so he writes scholars of genocide are criticizing the dangerous use of the Holocaust to justify Israeli mass violence against Palestinians. Wait, but did you? This is like just Jay. This is like only watching The Dark Knight without having seen Batman Begins, right?
Yeah.
They're like completely missing. They're like already so late into the game and have no idea what happened that led to this.
Right. It is absolutely fucking hilarious that they have to say that they must stop weaponizing the Holocaust. The main reason why we have an Israeli state, and we are seeing it from every major city. We are seeing it from every college campus. We are seeing the reason why there needed to be a Jewish state to begin with. And the Holocaust solidified it.
All right, so the guy who wrote it is Raz Segal, who is an associate professor of Holocaust and genocide studies at Stockton University and the endowed professor in the study of modern genocide. It sounds like this guy might need to do a little bit more studying as probably he's probably one of the people who are out here calling it a Gaza genocide, which is
right.
Factually like not accurate, considering that genocide entails like targeted indiscriminate killing of a particular group based on their ethnicity. Palestinians are not being targeted by Israelis based on the fact that they're Palestinian. Palestinians who are actually part of Hamas are the ones who are being targeted, and it's war and it's ugly, and Hamas uses Palestinian civilians as human shields. So they want to rack up the death toll, and unfortunately a lot of Palestinians have died. But that doesn't qualify as a fucking genocide.
Mm-mm.
Just letting
it's not at all in any way, shape, or form.
Entirely different. So it's just, there are people who think that Hamas is good, and it's absolutely insane that we even have to say no, they're fucking not. They kill innocent people indiscriminately. They kill their own people. They don't give a fuck about Palestinians.
There was a video that came out that showcased a bunch of Palestinians that were shot point blank range by Hamas trying to flee into the southern border. I mean, they didn't allow their own people to take cover. They built 200 miles of tunnels, which none of them are to be used by Palestinian civilians for cover. They did not give a flying fuck. They even warn the Palestinians on what it is that they were going to be doing. And they didn't set up any kind of measures that were going to help the civilians afterwards. They didn't give a shit. They pretended to pray in their fucking penthouse in Qatar and allowed this stuff to happen with no regard to the Palestinian civilians. But it is Israelis' responsibility. You guys are looking at the wrong people that you need to be
it's actually really shameful that like Muslims have like by and large gone down this path, because I got to be honest, I mean I'm all for like Palestinians having the right to self-determination, but like they were given that opportunity and then they fucking squandered it. They voted for Hamas. Hamas decided that they were going to use all the money that was being given to them to basically fund every single offensive attack against Israel and try to kill as many Jews as they can, because it's in the charter that Israel would be wiped off the face of the earth.
But not just Israel. Like it's in their wording that they talk about the Yahud. They say Yahud every single time. Every single time you talk about this with some Arab or Palestinian or anyone, they talk about the Yahud. They do not just say Israel, and they do not just say Zionists. It's just a cover for them on the legitimate people that they really want to wipe off of this earth.
Yeah, it's very wild. Sakai on Rumble says, the Shia and Sunni are two interpretations of Islam, and they kill each other as much as any religion. Might be why Iran is sacrificing Hamas. Also, there is a great divide between Persians and Arabs. And then Joshin responds to Sakai, says, note who attacks Siraj and Jay. There's a lot of Jay, actually, in terms of Islamophobia, apart from like that one incident that took place in Illinois where the young boy and his mother was killed, show me like that is like literally like 1 percentage point of the amount of anti-Semitism, like anti-Semitic attacks. That's less than a percentage, like 0.1% of a percentage. Like this is 2 deaths, and we're talking about thousands upon thousands of Jews who've been killed. What is this we're seeing, Jay?
We're showing the hate crime statistics summary of October 2023. You get Asians, Blacks, ethnic, gender, Hispanic, Jewish, and Muslim. I mean, it sucks that the Jewish one is showing a very nice number, but you can see that it's a rise of 214% in comparison to 2022. And that is only going to be on the rise as well. And a lot of that is happening also on student also
campuses. Jay, I know it's sad, and I don't want to say this, but in 2023, under the Jewish category, nice.
Yeah, I also said nice.
Nice. Anyways, let's get back to number 4. Number 4, you ready for this, Jay?
Let's see it.
Eric Levitz. Okay. All right.
This one is so fucking bad.
All right, let me give you a little bit of context here, okay? Matthew Gertz of Media Matters for America, by the way, who we're not really big fans of. They're very dishonest leftist activists that basically well, I'll just leave it there. Matthew Gertz tweets out, according to members of an international team of forensic pathologists examining the bodies of the victims, Hamas terrorists committed unfathomable atrocities on 10/7. Okay, it's Matthew Gertz. Okay, Media Matters for America. Let's look at this tweet from Eric Levitz. He tweets out, according to this report, which includes corroborating images. Hamas militants tie the parent and child together and then burn them alive. And then this tweet comes. This is the morning after. This is October 21st. On October 22nd at 11:43 a.m. East, Eric Levis tweets, "Last night I asserted that this report indicated that babies were beheaded. That was an overstatement. I should have said that the report established that babies were found headless, a fact that lends plausibility to claims of beheading, but which does not prove them." It's like Hamas didn't behead those babies because they were wearing like the green headband. They're wearing like the red headband, which actually signifies like the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. So that's why Hamas didn't behead babies. It goes even a step further. It's a step further from that.
I know it's a very disgusting thing that we need to give Hamas the benefit of the doubt, basically, like over all of this stuff that's been happening. It is absolutely the reports and the testimonies of what happened on October 7th. They can it's beyond your wildest dreams on the atrocities that happened on October 7th. This is what you read in history books on what the Vikings did when they were going through, what the fucking Mongolian Empire did as it was colonizing through Asia. Mm-hmm. It was absolutely disgusting. You had somebody who came up and testified watching her friend get raped over and over and over again, and continually to get raped even after blood was going down her thighs, and get shot in the head, and her breasts being chopped off and played around and thrown around between Hamas terrorists.
It's Jay,
and he wants to come in and pretend about fucking somatics.
Jay, what happened to fucking believe all women? This is literally
unless they're white or Jewish,
Jay,
it doesn't matter.
This is like the fucking Super Bowl of people not believing women.
Right.
It's on another. These people live on another fucking planet. They live on another fucking planet. I can't even associate myself with them, just like as on a species level. Like that is how fucking foreign they are to me. So anyways, let's get to the top three, shall we? That's number 4, Eric Levitz. The next one at number 3, Jay, you want to get this?
So on Monday afternoon, the UN Human Rights Council observed a moment of silence for the loss of innocent lives in the occupied Palestine territory and elsewhere. They didn't do this for October 7. They didn't condemn October 7. We
actually got a video here. Should we watch the video?
Yeah, we can. It's 2 minutes. And also after this, guess who became the chairman of the Human Rights Council on the UN? Take a guess.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I was paying attention.
I said take a guess on who became the chairman of the Human Rights Council on the UN. Take a guess.
We're talking about country, not person, right?
Yeah, country.
Was it Iran?
Yep.
Boom, let's go.
You fucking got it. The UN is an absolutely atrocious fucking organization that needs to be defunded completely. We also had the foreign minister of Iran in the UN on US soil saying that they would even kill American lives if America came in, threatening the United States and its citizens on American soil. And we still are the biggest funders of this scam of an organization that just sits back, rapes children, and watches genocides, legitimate genocides like Rwanda, Bosnia, happen over and over again while they do nothing. They do nothing. They don't pressure anything.
Those two things were actual genocides because in Rwanda, it was literally ethnic warfare. Hutu and the Tutsis. And then in Bosnia, it was targeted. It was Serbian Christians targeting Bosnian Muslims. And basically holding them in like extermination camps.
Mhm.
Well, not
Legitimately,
extermination camps. I don't know
right
if it was
now
extermination
what
camp.
we're seeing with the Uyghur Muslims that are happening right
Yeah, it
now.
was like
Nothing
I
is
don't.
happening. You want to talk about ethnic cleansing? You want to
Mhm.
talk about putting them through re-education camps? There's your ethnic cleansing, you fucking shit organization that needs to be it needs to be defunded, or you know what? Just bomb it. I don't give a fuck. Every one of these people can go fuck a dick.
Did you say go fuck a dick or go suck a dick?
I said go fuck a dick.
Oh wow, that's a lot to swallow right there, Jay.
We can do without the UN. The UN is an absolute garbage organization that should not exist. But there was one based moment that happened in the UN, and it was
Don't
when
you
they
say
were
Nikki Haley.
accusing Israel of being an apartheid state, and
Oh,
while
an
having like Iraq
apartheid
and
state?
Iran apartheid state, while having
Apartheid
Iraq,
state.
Iran, and everybody else sign it. The guy was sitting there and asking the chairman and all of the other people there. He asked Iraq, what happened to the Iraqi Jews? Where are the Jews in Iraq? What happened to the Lebanese Jews? Where are the Jews in Lebanon? What happened to the Jews in Syria? Where are the Jews in Iran? If you want to talk about an apartheid state, Israel, amongst all of them, is the only state that actually has Arab Muslims and Arab Jews and Jewish people living in
Yeah,
that state,
shit.
voting in
Jay,
that
I
state,
completely forgot.
working in that state, owning
Jay, I
businesses
completely
in that
forgot
state.
about that. I completely forgot about that. That is that you're so on the fucking money right there because it really is the safe haven for all Jewish people. It's not like
Not
look,
only Jewish people, Arabs live better in fucking Israel than they do in Lebanon, than they do in Syria, than they do in Jordan, than they do in Egypt, than they do in Palestine, the West Bank, or Gaza.
it's just so
Not just
wild.
Jews.
Like
It's people in general.
people hate that like we defend Jews, and I'm just gonna tell you this: we basically defend anyone who we think has been wronged, and in this case, Jews are getting a real raw end of the deal, and it's really
Well,
sad to
they
see.
are, but it's also like who is valuing the culture and Western culture more? You think that Palestinians value Western culture compared to Israel? And the tenets
You
of
go,
liberty and freedom.
wasn't there like one particular pro-Palestinian or pro-Hamas rally where someone with a Palestinian flag grabbed someone with a pride flag, like grabbed the flag of the pride flag that someone was holding and just like tore it to shreds?
Yeah, that's what they did it was the Queers for Palestine thing.
That's right.
It was fucking hilarious. Yeah, and anyone asking, like, I am Lebanese. I also have like the Lebanese flag tattooed. The
Crazy.
cedar tree, Lebanese cedar tree from its flag tattooed on me.
And I'm not Arab at all. I'm Pakistani, but everyone thinks I'm Arab because I'm like the white. I'm a WAP.
Water's 828, more like Lesbonon. Am I right? Too good.
Too good.
Anyways, let's go to number 2.
All right, number 2, we got. Here we go. Beth McKernan tweets out on October 11th. Just looked at today's UK front pages, and I'm horrified by the headlines claiming 40 babies beheaded by Hamas at Kfar Aza. Yes, many children were murdered. Yes, there were several beheadings in the attack. This claim, however, is unverified and totally irresponsible. Because it was
I
in
wonder
40, it was.
I wonder why she deleted that post.
Oh man, she did not think that one through. God, it's amazing that people think this way when they hear the news that there were babies that were beheaded by Hamas. They're like, yes, but was it 40 or was it maybe 39?
Or yeah, was it 40 or was it 25? Or were they beheaded because they were
Facts
chopped off or
matter.
shot off?
That's fucking matter.
really were they put in the oven and burnt, or were they burnt and then put in the oven? It's insane that what these people are defending and trying to minimize. These motherfuckers put a baby in the oven and raped the mother as the baby was screaming in the oven. And the thing that these fuckers don't realize is that they filmed it themselves and posted it. That's one thing, honestly. If Hamas wasn't a fucking dumb fuck and they weren't stupid, if they didn't post any of these things on there, it would be much harder for Israel to actually. I mean, we have verified evidence, we have videos, we have everything from the attack that they have documented their own atrocities happening. Imagine if they didn't do it, how much harder it would be for Israel to actually claim these things happened.
It's actually really wild because like most terrorist organizations like ISIS claim responsibility for even attacks that they didn't even like green light.
Right.
And here's Hamas. Basically Hamas not only claims responsibility, they proudly upload it, and then everyone who would normally say, "Oh yeah, that was ISIS," would be like, "Oh no, that couldn't have been Hamas." I'd known Hamas for 2 weeks. He wouldn't do something like that.
And then there, Mike Atel over in on Rumble makes a good point as well. Palestinians and all Islam states have a goal of taking over the world and forcing their religion into every house. So it is no hidden agenda, especially like in the UK, where you see a lot of mosques and Muslims start saying, and even them in Belgium and in other European countries, saying that their goal is to bring Sharia law into the country that they're living in right now. And we and people are whining about Zionists. It's the funniest fucking thing. The same people who say, "Oh, Zionists, blah blah blah," are in Western countries taking advantage of the Western liberties and values, either it be welfare or freedom or being able to start your own fucking business and make a life for your fucking family, or even they're saying that they want to bring the caliphate into that country that they're living in. It's worse in Europe than it is here in the United States, but it's bad. It's bad in the UK. It's bad, really bad in Germany. It's horrific in France.
Yeah,
the way that these Islamists are trying to push and dictate and do this. I mean, just a few weeks ago, you had a pair of teachers being stabbed by some Muhammad student.
Yeah, that was on like the Day of Rage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that got completely swept under the rug. What happened to that whole shit?
No, I know that. And then also NBC just reported that the person who stabbed the woman who led the synagogue in Michigan has been caught, but they did not release the name.
Oh wow, really? Because there was a female rabbi in Michigan who was murdered, and she was like a very beloved figure in the community, and it was really sad seeing that news. And it wasn't just like there was like signs of foul play. So like,
no, she was stabbed. Like she was stabbed. And stabbing is like, it's a very personable, evil thing.
It's an intimate level killing.
Yeah. And they haven't released the name, but they have a suspect in custody right now. And maybe because it's just a suspect right now that they have in custody. They didn't release the name because of how very hot this topic is. Maybe. And I can say in that aspect, it's kind of legitimate not to release the name because they don't know if they have the right guy or not. And the problem with how heated this whole thing is like, if you don't have the right person, that is going to become the right person in disinformation.
Yeah.
So if they have a Muhammad in custody, but it was actually some homeless guy who wanted to kill her for money, then it would be a very, very bad disinformation campaign. But we'll see. We'll probably
see.
see it in like when it goes to trial, or
I mean,
if more
there was
evidence comes out, or if a leak comes out.
yeah, wasn't there a photo? So there was a Jew, an elderly Jewish man who was killed by a pro-Palestinian, I
Pro
assume
Hamas.
pro-Hamas, at this point pro-Hamas, a protester who like hit him on the head with an air horn. It was filmed, and then the Jewish man fell back and I guess hit his head against the pavement, which led to brain hemorrhage, killing him. And
Yeah,
the man was
the
arrested.
microphone. He hit the
man was
microphone on his head.
arrested. The perpetrator was arrested, and then I saw like some photos of some man at that protest, who they saying was the murderer, or the killer, but that there were people then saying like, no, that's not him, that's not the guy. Again, this is one of those things where you mentioned just now.
You just have to wait. Yeah, there was a post of a guy wearing a mask and a hoodie, and everybody was like, "That's the guy." And then now we know who the actual guy is, especially because it's on video and also photos afterwards. It's an elderly Arab man who hit him over the head with his megaphone, and then he fell backwards and hit his head on the concrete. And it has been ruled a homicide, and it's really we should have had a lot of the headlines and the tweets on the list over that, all encompass on one, because of the way that they were reporting on it. They were reporting on it saying Jewish man dies of head injury in a pro-Palestinian, pro-Israeli rally. Or it says Jewish man died from a head injury at a protest. And this is how they were reporting on it over and over again, minimizing the death of Paul.
Do you have any of those takes? Do you have it?
Let me get it up.
While you look for that, I'll just put a bow on it. This is number one. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
This is from BLM Chicago. They tweeted out this image. That is all. That is it. And it is an image that says, "I stand with Palestine," and it is a paraglider. If you read the community note, it says, on October 7th, 2023, Hamas terrorists and paragliders attacked a music festival in Israel, killing over 260 people. And it's been deleted. That's your number one. That's your number one tweet for the month of October of Palestine. And Jay, some people try to say that this isn't the real Black Lives Matter affiliated account.
Oh no, it was the real Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter like denied that they were like a actual like organization. That they were like some imposters or some shit.
No, it wasn't. That's exactly the one. And then you had a lot of other people posting that as a figure of liberation. That is the issue we're seeing, and it is the far leftists and commies on this situation.
This is the account, by the way.
Yeah, they're in a legitimate Black Lives Matter account.
So, yeah.
But here's
you got it.
I got the different ones here. So this is from CNN. Man in California dies after suffering head injury at pro-Israeli and pro-Palestinian demonstrations. NBC. Jewish man dies after hitting head in altercation at dueling pro-Israel and pro-Palestinian rallies in California. Jewish man dies after altercation in dueling protests in California. Jewish man dies from injuries suffered in Israel-Palestine rally in Westlake Village. The guy legitimately was hit, like it was murder that happened here.
Yeah. Or at the very least, there was assault that I think second-degree murder or manslaughter.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it was an assault perpetrated on him by a Palestinian pro Hamas, pro Palestinian person. And the way the media was reporting on this is absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And then we also have this here from Protect Journalists is talking about like we condemn Israel's killing of journalists in Gaza and urge integrity in Western media coverage of Israel's atrocities against Palestinians. Holy cow, folks, not even pretense of objectivity. Israel is the enemy. Only mention of Hamas since the October 7th attack by Hamas.
Who published that?
This was published by Protect Journalists.
Protect Journalists. Oh, okay, all right.
And this comes in after it's been shown that the people in Gaza who are giving information to the New York Times that they're paying for are Hamas themselves. These people are Hamas. There is not journalists in Gaza right now that are giving photos and all that kind of stuff to AP and New York Times and CNN.
Mm-hmm.
These are Hamas militants who are pushing propaganda to these organizations that just eat it up because they are garbage fucking people. Absolute
That's
garbage
insane.
people. And people need to realize, they need to understand that if this type of stuff happened from Mexico into California or Texas, they would report that the real victims are the Mexican cartels that are fucking perpetrating this atrocity.
They're not getting enough. They're not getting enough government funding.
Exactly, or some garbage bullshit.
Crazy.
These places are overrun by terrorist simping fucking far leftist communists. That's what they are overrun by. Those are the biggest names and the biggest the loudest people who are pushing articles and headlines and editorial and who have taken over editorial rights in these publications. And we're going to have to start seeing people push back against this stuff, because if they are pro Hamas when they're whining about a Tom Cotton fucking op-ed, then they're going to be able to take more scrutiny, especially when I call them little bitch clowns.
Man, it is crazy. Absolutely crazy that people are like just that is one hell of a list. Now, I don't know if you had a chance to look over it. We kind of have a running log. So if you actually want to see how the list is made, then join our locals, because we actually you get early access to it, so you can see it prior to it being revealed to everyone. You kind of get a little bit of a hint, but obviously you got to tune into the list stream first to get the full top 10. But we actually have the actual list on our locals being published at midnight East, midnight my time. So 11 p.m. Central. Was it going to be like 9 p.m. Pacific?
I don't know. I'm now on Eastern time.
You're already here, Jay?
I'm going to be like spiritually, like
you're
if
coming.
You feel a tingle, do you feel a tingle in your asshole? Because that's my tongue.
I feel full, just all right in there. Just basically, this chest can't wait to take it.
It's gonna happen, dude. I'm gonna be putting it on your chest over and over again.
Speaking of chest taking it, go ahead and use a local.
Also, I'm gonna try and get there. I'm gonna try and get there before Thanksgiving. So hopefully, maybe you guys can what's it called? Film my cooking skills when I get over there, and we can start posting on HPH.
Yes, we
just
could.
Me cooking. Yeah, just me cooking. Yes.
No, just an apron and nothing else.
I'll wear just an apron, nothing else. I think I have the apron my mom got you guys. Well, actually, I can't wear that apron.
I got it. Love that. Ooh, Chief Billy Longballs on Rumble says these guys are Arab. Are they paid shills or what?
Hold
Yeah,
on, sir.
Your mom actually pays us.
I fuck your
quite
mom for free.
handsomely.
I fuck her for free
Yeah,
because that ass.
it's not a matter of us paying. It's actually she pays us for it at this point.
Right.
So
And also, I'm the Arab. He's the Pakistani. He's the Pakistani.
So yeah, I think that covers it. So thank you all to all the Habibis who tuned in to the list of people who need their phones taken away. As I said before, we're gonna release it on Twitter as well as locals. You're gonna see the more detailed on locals because you get early access to it. But whatever.
Yes. And then also make sure Sunday is going to be my stream before I'm out next week. I don't think I'm going to do any streams next week. So Sunday I'm going to be doing a fantasy football stream. Hopefully Siraj will join me,
yes,
Carl from Ohio, Ben, and Josh, and some others who are on our locals as well.
I think one thing we got to do, Jay, is we have to I do have to join you a little bit for that football stream, but also we really need to play that game that you mentioned.
Oh yes, I'll find what the game is. So we'll do a little bit of the football stream, and then we'll game with some of the Habibis as well.
Inshallah. So yeah, go ahead and join the locals, and you can come hang with us on Sunday. Be ready for it. Habibis, I've been Siraj Hashmi.
I'm Mujahed Kobbe.
Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for the love and support. Thank you to all local supporters and even Jeremy, the quartering, coming in and giving us $100 Rumble rant. Thank you, Habibi. Y'all the best. Have a great night. Peace it. Messing